16th of November. Dear Wendy, my visitor in the window, thank you so much for writing to me. The man calls me Joshua, but my name is Jennifer. I've been in this room ever since he saved me. He's a nice person, but he won't let me leave.
10th of December, Jennifer to Wendy. Thank you, Wendy. I wanted to fly away from this room and run with you in the fields, but the man is so lonely, so sad. I can't just leave him alone.
14th of January from J to W. Thank you, Wendy, my kind and fair princess. Is there something that I can do for you?
24th of January from J to W. I, Jennifer, pledge to the fair princess Wendy, everlasting, true love, I am yours.
20th of March. Wendy, I'm here now, but I'm kind of afraid. Everything is new to me. I'm worried if I'll get along with everyone.
22nd of July. Dear Wendy, I have great news. I found something wonderful. I look forward to every morning now, and I hope you will too.
13th of August. How are you, Wendy? You haven't said anything to me since I showed you the surprise. Do you like my cute little puppy Brown? Let's take care of him together.
20th of August. My dear Wendy, this little guy is just so adorable. When I call his name, he comes bounding to me. I know you'll like him too.
September the 24th. How are you doing, Wendy? Are you all right? We'll always be friends, and Brown can be our friend too. I know you don't understand, but I can't just abandon him.
6th of October. You've got it all wrong, Wendy. This isn't how it's supposed to be. I never expected you to react this way. All I wanted was for us to live happily ever after together.
31st of January. My dear Prince. Yes, you are my prince. A prince and a princess must be together, after all. Jennifer, you are my eternal companion. That's from W to J.
Yeah, that last one.
Just promise to stay by my side and save your smiles for me. That's all I ask. We don't need a filthy dog. We can't let anyone come between us.
28th of November. From Wendy to Jennifer again. You still have that filthy dog. I'll never forgive you. Have you forgotten your oath? The rule of Rose? Goodbye, Jennifer. You will regret choosing that dog over me. Thus a grudge was born. Yeah.
Yes, this all was because Wendy and Jennifer were fully devoted to each other, and then the dog came along.
Yeah.
And then it made Wendy jealous. Peter the Rabbit. He was the pet that Wendy suddenly decided to take care of. It was about the same time I started looking after Brown. I wonder if Wendy really loved Peter. Was she sad when she had to give him up?
I think from the story, and we saw the sad end of Peter the Rabbit, that no, it wasn't anything to do with loving Peter, but another machination. We should be able to just go out into the corridor again and then keep following it around. Should be a balcony.
No, I kind of thought there'd be something to look at.
None of the chairs or the potting table. Oh, there we go. The red bird in the cage. The doll Eleanor treasured. If only we could fly like birds and go wherever we wished, she whispered softly. Yet, no matter how much Eleanor wished, she'll never be able to just fly away from this orphanage. Poor Eleanor. She was burdened by her own frozen heart.
So, was it not a real bird? It
sounds like it was a fake bird, yes. I can't imagine a kind of a grubby run-down orphanage had money for the food for pets. So there would have been old toys and imagination.
Hang on, where am I going now?
I think you've done the entirety of this floor. Because we...
Oh, so just through the door then?
Yeah, you should be able to go out and then get down. And do the first floor. Well, the ground floor. This is the first floor.
Jennifer!
What if her? This is Mr. Hoffman's prized collection of fine dishes. We would sometimes sneak them out and play house with them in the attic. But that's our little secret.
Indeed. This is a picture of Mr. Hoffman when he was a young man. He was so proud when he showed it to us. He never caught the one who doodled on it, though. But I know who did it. I saw Thomas trying to move the ladder on the day it happened.
Also, it was obviously Thomas because he's the one who draws everything.
Admittedly, yes.
The record player is brand new. Playing a record would fill the room with sweet music.
All of us loved red roses. Even the name of the orphanage was befitting of an aristocrat. It wasn't until I swore the oath of the rose that I learned roses have thorns.
And this is absolutely the first piece of media which has used the metaphor of the rose to describe anything to do with women. It was a cold winter night. I had been scolded as usual and called into the headmaster's room. I didn't like being scolded, but I didn't mind so much. When it was in front of the fireplace, which was warm and cosy.
Sounds like they kept the rest of the place quite cold then. Oh, there's a fish this time. I know you're in a very stinky place because the rag Diana put to my face smelled just awful. But no matter how clever or fast you are, there's no escaping. You're like a mermaid in captivity, adapting to a new reality, leaving your home behind. Did you find happiness?
Glitching through a building. Ooh, do we get to read more letters? The book is open. Oh, this is when we find out more stuff. March 1930. Recently, the children have been engaging in odd activities and spreading disturbing rumours about creatures that come after children who don't clean up, and stray dogs that kidnap small tots. It's all very bizarre.
16th of August 1930. Today I was busy catching up on my work when Clara came by to offer me a hand. I guess my teaching paid off. I was grateful for her kindness. In the wee hours of the morning, she was still working, so I gently took her to bed. I can hardly believe it. My little Clara, bless her heart, is already 16 years old. She tells me she wants to stay at the orphanage and help with the daily chores. Maybe I should seriously consider the offer. Tomorrow I'll discuss it with Martha.
At the time it seemed so frightening. Were those scary things that attacked me just figments of my imagination? Oh, should I do this one as well? 24th of August 1930. This is simply inexcusable. My precious koi is gone. The children must be responsible. I won't stand for this. Where is Diana? What's she been up to? My opinion of her will suffer because of this.
The diary continues, but the last page is particularly interesting. It's Mr. Hoffman's last entry before he disappeared. 11th of November. I'm leaving the orphanage. Clara's here to look after things, and the children are quickly growing up. I've done right and fulfilled my duty. Bloody hell, all the trouble started when that wretched child arrived. I've done nothing to deserve this.
That's the end of the diary. We never saw Mr. Hoffman again.
Ooh. What happened to him?
Mr. Hoffman loved to broadcast over the PA system. While we were cleaning, while we were eating, and even after we were in bed. He always announced our names in the order of his favourites. We'd all try our best to win his approval and be the first one to be called. But he never called my name, not once. I thought it was all rather silly anyway.
Is that where the Aristocrat Club name list came from? You want the far door, because it doesn't lead anywhere else. It's just a little closet. That day, Mr. Hoffman disappeared like he was running away from something. He had tried too hard to be someone he wasn't. The expectations were too much for him, and he wanted to escape those restrictions. However, children and adults live in the same world, and we must both play by society's rules. Take it hence the motif a lot of him being tied with ropes. That's it.
And of course this game is where the phrase "we live in a society" comes from. Should I go out this way?
You can do. That's reception room. This is just back into the stairwell corridor. It'll be... well, the corridor that leads into the stairwell that way, but this way is something else.
I'll go this way then? Or should I go this way?
I don't know. I would go to the right, but...
we can always come back if we think we've missed anything.
because this should be his... oh,
This sloppy drawing must be Thomas's. See what happens when you give him chalk. The walls, the floors, to him it's one big canvas. I was actually trying to look at that.
yeah. That should just be his dressing room.
Oh, so you get to do all of these.
The spooky things love to clean. That's why they always carry mops and brooms. They'll kidnap you if you don't clean. At least that's what everyone says.
On Halloween, we all dressed up in costumes. Everyone else wore bags over their heads and stared at me through tiny holes. Their blank faces and muffled voices. It scared me like you wouldn't believe. Is it really you under there? I asked, fearing it was something else. But no one would answer me.
That does sound pretty horrifying. Amanda was always more sensitive about her looks than anyone else. One day she was given a severe scolding by Miss Martha. That's because Miss Martha's lipstick had gone missing. The lipstick was never found, but I know Amanda took it. I've seen her applying it late at night.
That's a
Yeah.
pig motif in the mirror there, probably drawn on with lipstick, I think is the idea.
Again, just sort of the weird theme of playing as adults and emulating adults and... Not that way. So yes, now you could go to the stairwell and we've done everything here.
If there's anything out here, because there never has really been. There's been like a box occasionally, but I don't think there's ever been anything we could take a look at.
Not really.
And that continues now, because you still can't.
Yes, there should be dining room here, or cafeteria. The basement, obviously, and then we could loop around to the classroom, or we could do the basement. Maybe the first two tables.
So yes, it's interesting that Mr. Hoffman vanished. And I think that's probably where the rumour about how he died or something had come from. Olivia, the one who cried all the time, stopped crying completely when all the adults were gone. With no teacher to give her attention and no cleaning lady to scold her, there was no point in crying anymore. Poor Olivia.
So did literally all of the adults just decided they were done?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think what happened is that they all sort of left.
I wonder if it's something to do with the timing, because is it World War One or World War, yeah.
Oh, not for a while, this is
Not
1930.
Okay.
So this would have been 9 years before World War II. Although that's the funny thing about the unlucky girl, is that the timing of when she's an adult is the start of World War II, so she's doubly unlucky.
So yes, we could loop around our basement.
See, the thing is, I'm not sure there's going to be anything in the basement. But we'll have a look anyway.
It might tell us why all of those strange rooms are called what they're called.
And they're still called the strange things.
One time, Diana was absorbed in deep thought here. She was the prettiest, the most mature of the aristocrats. She wanted so much to be an adult. And yet she was also afraid of growing up too fast. To be fair, that's the strange thing about being that age, is you know that it's good to be an adult, but it's also bad to be an adult.
Yeah. You still want to hold on to childish things because they're fun, but you also want to visit the adult world on sort of an even footing. I don't think there's anything in here. It's the whole children desperately want to be adults and adults kind of don't care about being adults.
To a certain extent, I don't think I've ever longed to be a child again, but yes, it's like being an adult is a pain at times.
There's a working film projector here. Any films you have can be played on it. I don't think that's the voice of the character there. I think that's saying, hey, did you collect any film cans?
Yeah.
We've only collected one. I'm just going to put them all in the extras. I think it'll be easier. We haven't been in here, right?
No.
Writing's not there. Intriguing.
The spooky things and the scary creatures that everyone talked about. They'll come and clean if you don't, sweeping bad children away like dust. Well, they actually came and attacked me. I knew what they really were, but that wasn't the problem. The real problem was my weak heart. My weakness was what drew them here. Yeah, can you do the other side of the table, or is it all one thing? They look like two different tableaus. That's fair enough. And then there's just this one room at the other side. That one, yeah.
Good water and grass. I'll actually try the end of both of those corridors just in case, but I doubt there's anything there.
Yeah.
There's the bicycle. That was an examination point last time.
The cases were as well, but it doesn't seem to be this time. You mentioned that it's everyone's suitcases are taken off them as soon as they show up. Never mind.
Why can't I just...
Like, maybe be careful. We don't want to break and then have to redo all of this. Yeah, doesn't seem to be anything in here. Even though
I didn't try and click at the very end. No, nothing doing.
You can come in here, yeah.
Maybe she never came here.
Or I suppose the initial commentary was commentary enough.
Oh, and I should look at the weird route. Because that was a description point. At one point. But not this time. Good puddle sound effect though. Sometimes she just doesn't want to go the direction you want her to.
Like now we just have that way. Yeah, you've got it.
Jennifer does what Jennifer wants.
This door here.
Oh, hang on. Can we look at this drawing? Just because we could look at the other drawings. How come we haven't been to the classroom?
That's what's coming up,
Okay.
I think.
The kitchen. We haven't been to the kitchen either. I was just trying to think of rooms we've been in. Do I know what they all are?
Probably, yes.
See if we get to visit Martha's room. Yes, we do. Nothing in the kitchen, which I find quite strange.
There are a couple of letters here. It's a letter from the police. 20th of October 1930, re Mr. Gregory Wilson. Dear Ma'am, please forgive the delay in our response. In your letter, you reported suspicious activity on the part of Mr. Gregory Wilson. After investigating the matter, we have come to the following conclusion. There is little to indicate that the said individual is connected to the recent kidnappings. Mr. Wilson is father to a son who closely matches the description in your letter. Therefore, we have determined that there is insufficient evidence to warrant further investigation. We appreciate your cooperation and understanding in this matter. Anthony Doolittle, Cardington Police.
It's a letter from Martha. 24th of November. Officer Doolittle. My name is Martha Carroll, and I work at the Rose Garden Orphanage. In the past month, I have sent 6 letters to your attention, but have yet to receive a response. Have my letters reached you? I ask that you please investigate this matter at once for the safety of our children. Yesterday, I saw them together again, Mr. Wilson and Wendy, a child at our orphanage. I am very concerned for her safety. The two of them have been acting quite strangely. Oh, it's terribly odd. By strangely, I mean Mr. Wilson walking on all fours and nodding, and Wendy appears to be scolding him. I don't know how to explain it, except that it resembled dog training gone wrong. Ooh, it gives me the shivers just thinking about it. Please, come investigate this matter as...
The letter ends there. Perhaps if the matter had been addressed publicly, things wouldn't have turned out as they did. Adults are so selfish. And unfortunately, times have not moved on. You can still tell the police something 4, 5 or 6 times and they'll tell you nothing's wrong, and then someone will kill someone.
And that's the message of this whole LP is fuck the police. There isn't a description in the kitchen, I just missed it. If Miss Martha had disappeared, there would have been no one to cook. If Clara had disappeared, there would have been no one to tend to our wounds. If Mr. Hoffman had disappeared, there would have been no one to teach us. You can't live life eating snacks all day with no exercise or studying. If you look at it that way, even the aristocrat club needed adults around. Our world was so small.
Well, yeah, you were totally dependent on everyone else.
Oh wow, uh-oh.
No, we haven't been to the classroom because it's the bit of the first floor we missed, but we'll get to it. Wash house again.
Well, we actually get a thing this time.
I came to this room every day to do laundry. The water was so cold and the soap would sting my eyes. But I didn't hate it, because clean laundry is so refreshing. That's going to be too close to the door, yeah.
Oh, I could catch my breath. Goodness gracious. Did we do this room?
Yeah, you're coming this way.
Into the bathroom. Jennifer, are you happy now? Considering how bad it was for you back then? That tragedy you wanted to forget? Now that you remember everything, how do you feel? Is the answer inside you? Think carefully, Jennifer. Because this is her, like, this whole story is her regaining her memories as an adult, I'm assuming. I think that's the first time we've actually had a view of in there. Weird place to have a bath. Catching her breath. Hang on.
Jennifer?
Jeez. Oh, that's better. Flowers, 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 no.
I learned many things at this orphanage. The alphabet, words, how to clean and do laundry. But the most important thing I learned was the lesson I received in exchange for my dear friend's life. I finally came to understand myself. My beliefs and the will to stand up for them. I don't want to lose those ever again.
So at least we know that that actually did seem to happen. That she did lose the dog.
Yeah.
Presumably Wendy organised for it to be killed then. Which is fairly horrifying. The map of this country. That day we flew from England, those memories were buried deep inside of me. The airship. And the accident. Thereafter, the story of my life became a tale of misfortune. Even when the others played airship, I couldn't bear to join them. So I was left out.
A brat, a know-it-all, an introvert, a crybaby, and an elitist. I know misfortune because I tolerated them all. I thought I was the only grown-up. But we were all just kids, myself included. But what does it really mean to be a grown-up? Will I ever become one? Yes, it's tremendously introspective. What about those books?
Well, let's try this cupboard first. Nope. Nope. Oh, boiler. On cold winter days we all used to gather here and talk. I, of course, couldn't join in, so I sat off to the side. Even so, it felt so warm. The books, they do nothing.
Can you look at that thing on the wall?
Yes. Probably could have earlier.
A silent scarecrow, it stands there quietly, not meddling in the affairs of others. It sways in the breeze like me. A cowardly girl who was unable to assert her true feelings.
Have we been in this loo?
I don't know where we are at this point, admittedly. We can just look around.
No, this is the men's. Presumably she didn't spend a lot of time here.
No.
Once, Susan started a rumour about voices coming from this room at night. It turned out that it was only the door creaking in the wind. But one night, sounds came from the room even with the windows shut. Susan jumped out of her bed and screamed. It was really just a prank by Nicholas and Xavier. From then on, the room was believed to be haunted and was considered off limits. Unless you needed to pee, presumably, and were a man.
Yeah, I think we want to keep going that way. Yeah, 'cause we're back out. We've done the loop. I guess there's this toilet room, I think is the only place we didn't go. And other than that, do we just leave?
We just leave. Not convinced. Oh, no, there is going to be something. I'll shut my mouth.
Red bird drawings. A red crayon and a red brooch. A red rose and red blood. Red is the most beautiful colour, yet it comes at a price. It is my most favourite colour and my most hated colour.
Can't we get noodles instead of beef?
I'm more thinking like, are you doing the I got my period, I am now growing up thing?
Like a rose.
Not sure, yeah. Some admittedly overuse of metaphors is a bit heavy-handed. I'm more like the sort of the weirdness of growing up and children bullying each other, and I think that's not something you see done quite as interestingly. When there's the like umbrella stand and car things like that.
We never used umbrellas. On snowy days, we'd go out for snowball fights. On rainy days, we'd go out and play in the rain and get soaking wet. Every time Xavier would trip and get himself all muddy, and we'd laugh. It was so much fun.
Yeah, it's sweet that she's finding nice things, admittedly, after the fact. It's a small locker. But it was just for me. My name was even on it. They made me feel welcome. I was so happy I'd move my shoes in and out over and over again.
Everyone thought I had a problem. They were right. Probably. Sorry. One day, Mr. Hoffman suddenly disappeared. Clara and Miss Martha soon followed, leaving me and the other orphans alone. Wow. So they all left us to our own devices, and that's how sort of the cruel society formed. So it is a bit Lord of the Flies.
It is, yeah. I feel like it would, because we've read about it and they say it's nothing to do with it, and it's like, are you sure?
Yeah, they say it wasn't an influence, but it seems very familiar.
Yeah.
But
Rawr.
yeah, it's like they were abandoned, and that's why the place is in such a state of disrepair.
Jennifer?
Come back to you.
Can you look at the bit of paper on the door, on the left-hand door?
Yes, but I can't promise it won't just make us go back in.
Okay.
Nothing doing. I'm just curious.
Well, because that looks like a gate, but I don't think you can actually get in there at all.
Because we've been through here in the game before. But no, not this time. Let's go and see Wendy.
Yeah, I was just thinking, you're saying goodbye, really.
I'm aware this is probably the wrong way.
Yeah.
Further anyway. Actually, it's amazing how much extra detail the widescreen will show you sometimes, because I'm like, I wouldn't expect there to really be anything off to the edges, but you can see more of the models.
Yeah, it does have a full wraparound rendered, like it exists.
Because yes, I did question whether or not to play it in widescreen, but I think it's absolutely been worth it.
Yeah. As to be a pig, you can't like click on the fences or the bushes or... Oh, we had a dog. A sign there. The sign has been broken ever since I came here. I guess it doesn't matter. No one comes to visit anyway.
Yes, of course it's that way.
Okay.
I just want to see what's down here, how far it lets me go. So far it's stopped me with sort of physical barriers, but I see no reason why I can't go all the way down the road.
Hopefully it doesn't just give us the credits early without saying brown.
God, wouldn't that be awful? Let's hope it doesn't. Also, the path is much longer. It must have been absolutely shorthanding it before. Ah, it still loops. Who's this?
That'll be Gregory, I'm guessing.
Thus that brought me here. Should I try to take it the other way? No, that's not right. There are still things I have to do here. Wait for me, Brown. I didn't mean to click that.
I think we were a little too close to that side. Unless you can't interact with this at all. Oh, there we go. Hello, little girl. Do you have a story you can share with me? A happy one, that is. Please tell me if you do. My son is waiting.
Just to make sure. The girl. It's no good.
And yes, I do feel like you have to be sympathetic even to Gregory, because clearly a grieving person, adult man, he seems to have lost his family and broken down, and I suspect all of the rope marks are supposed to suggest he's been probably unsuccessfully trying to kill himself for a while.
Or self-harming.
Yeah. But also, yes, he kills everyone in the orphanage, you assume. It doesn't outright say it, does it?
Yeah, it does in the newspaper.
Right.
There's a certain level of what's actually real and what isn't, but
Yeah.
I suspect the orphanage slaying was real.
Here we are. Please wait for me. I'll be there.
Do I click him again?
Yeah, I'm thinking just keep doing it, I guess.
No, that's it.
And try and leave then.
Can't click on that.
Everlasting, true love, I am yours.
I'll protect you. Forever and ever until I die.
Say where
my shame when I call your name. So please don't set me free. I'm as heavy as can be. I will do you harm. I will break my arm. I'm a victim of your charms. I want to be dead when I'm in bed. I can be so mean. You can beat me. I would like to shame you. I would like to blame you just because of my love to you. And love itself is just as innocent as roses in May. I know nothing can drive it away. Though love itself is just as brief as a candle in the wind that is greedy, just like sin. Alone but sane, I am a love suicide, 'cause love itself is just as brief as a candle in the wind. It is pure white, just like sea. But sane, I am a love suicide, 'cause love itself is just as innocent as roses in May. It is pure white, just like sea.
Key, the end is shaped like a four-leaf clover.
Jennifer found 4-leaf key.